When it comes to retail shop, the only chance you have to make a sale is product packaging, and when it comes to an online business, the design of the website is the most important thing, especially the hero section or the web banner. In this video, I am showing how you can easily create a banner for your business website in any domain using Canva. Using these techniques and principles, you can create an eye-catching banner that can improve the sale of your online business. So let's get started. I have here a design brief of 5 businesses in different domains. You can obtain this brief either from a client or for practice, you can use online design brief generators like GoodBrief or ChatGPT. Based on this brief, we will create web banner designs for the websites of these businesses. Let's first start Canva and create a custom size canvas. Here I am using a size of 1000 by 350 pixels, but you can experiment with sizes and see what size looks the best for your website. I have found this size looks pretty good on websites. For our first design, we will create a banner for this client, who is a tech business, and the purpose is to advertise mid-year mega sale. Since this is a tech and electronics business, we need to match the overall theme and vibe. So for this, I will search for a tech grid on blue color theme for the background. To emphasize the electronic aspect, I will furthermore add the circuit-like illustrations on the 2 corners. Please note that when designing a banner for the site, it is important to view the canvas in 100% zoom so that we know exactly what the design looks and feels like when deployed to a site. For the content, we will start with the main headline, which is given in the brief. Fonts are expressive, and they have meaning and evoke emotions, so we need to choose the typeface wisely. The typeface should match the theme of the design. Here, since the design is for a tech business, I am looking for a futuristic modern techno font. Headline should be the most visible element of the design, so it is important to make it catchy as well as legible. For the limited time text, I am using a catchy illustration which adds to visual appeal of the design. Furthermore, it is also adding an accent color to the design, making it more appealing. It's like adding salt to a meal. The call to action button should also be prominent and appealing, since after delivering all the information, we want the viewer to take the action. Looking at this design, it is not clear what the sale is about, so we need to add few images to give a hint of the fact that it is an electronics sale. For this, product cutouts work well. Always use high-resolution images in your design, and always scale the image proportionally. Also, don't enlarge the image beyond its original resolution, otherwise it will appear pixelated, and this is one of the design sins. I am adding the accent color to the sale text to emphasize it as well as add contrast and make the design visually appealing. Notice the generous white space around the content. White space is like a breathing room for the design, so we need to not suffocate the design and overwhelm the viewer by filling all white space. White space also has a work to do, and it is an important design principle. The next design is for a social organization, and the purpose is to raise awareness about deforestation and its impact on biodiversity and climate. Since the objective is clear for this design, I am using a split composition. For this we can use the grid and divide the canvas to two equal halves. On the left side let's put an image of a deforestation land, and on the right let's put image of a green lush forest. The point is we want the viewer to see the contrast and move from left to right. That is, from deforestation to planting more trees. When image does most of the work in a design, please make sure the image is of best quality and looks very good. Since it is an organization, we will use a traditional serif font for headline. Sans serif fonts are good for modern and tech sites. Light text on light background is not going to be legible, so we need a trick to make it work. One trick is to add a dark background like this to increase the contrast between text and background and make it highly legible. Since this is an initiative by an organization, we are adding a logo for the business. Normally the client provides the logo, but here I am showing you how you can quickly create a logo using Canva AI. All you have to do is copy and paste the company description in the text box, and click on Create Logo button, and the logo will be ready in a few seconds. You can choose the best from the variations generated. You can refine the logo using Canva tools like Magic Erase and Background Remover. The purpose of the banner is to raise donation, so we need to make sure the donation button stand out. This red color is in nice contrast with the background green. The next design is for a restaurant advertising its menu. Here for the background, I'll use a technique of darkening the image and blurring it. The details are so that it is only suggestive and should not interfere with the foreground elements. When you blur the background, the foreground elements automatically gets focus. This is a nice technique to use when you need a little more interesting background, but at the same time make the design highly legible. Next, to showcase the menu items, we will add some frames and put menu items in it. To separate the items better, we need to add a contrasting border so that the items don't blend with each other. Here I am deviating from the standard sans serif typeface and using a highly stylized typeface for the main heading. This makes the design unique. It is good to pair a highly stylized font with a standard sans serif to create a contrast and visual appeal. For the main focus, I am adding a model who is chef holding delicious dishes. Since there are lots of images, this should add a focus. I'll add a flame icon next to the flame heading text to make the headline a little more engaging. Also notice the flame is yellow, suggestive of fire. This adds nice contrast. When the text blends with the background, put a shape behind the text to separate it from the background and make it legible. Let's copy the company description and paste it to Canva AI logo generator to create a logo for this business. Always check alignments of the elements. Group the elements and make them left aligned, right-aligned or center-aligned as per need. It is not the well-aligned but the misaligned that the eyes notices first. The next banner is for a travel agency's website emphasizing travel to Japan. As per the brief, the travel is for autumn, so I am using a background suggestive of autumn season, bright, light, airy. You can give the design a premium look by using premium fonts like Cinzel. Here I'll use Cinzel for the main heading and make it big to emphasize the design and beauty of this font. For this business, I am using a logo I created earlier using Canva AI. You can go through the same process as shown in previous steps to create logo for your business. You can clip images into interesting shapes, like here I am using a blob to put the image of Japan. This makes the design more interesting. There should be unity in the design. All elements should reinforce the central theme of the design, in this case, it is autumn. To emphasize autumn and Japan, I am bringing few elements suggestive of those. This strengthens the theme and improves focus. Decorative elements like these strengthens the theme as well as makes the design more appealing. Finally, what is a travel without an airplane? So I am bringing in an airplane. This has both a decorative purpose as well as informative. Looking at the plane, one can guess it has something to do with travel easily, as well as this is a nice illustration that spices up the design. Also notice the love in the trail. This makes the design warm and inviting. Let's center align all these elements and make the Japan text red to emphasize it as well as its contrast. As the last step, always see if your design is balanced. If some spaces look empty, try to balance it with elements, but don't clutter the design. Leave white space. The next design is for a gym business. For this, I decided to go with a black and white, high contrast aesthetics. This emphasizes the serious and tough aspect of the business, and should appeal to the audience who are looking for serious results. We can use the filter and adjust controls in Canva to create a style of imagery. These controls can be tweaked to obtain a particular look and feel. Next, let's add a model and match him with the background style. I am pumping up the contrast to show the rugged body texture. Here again, I am using the logo I generated earlier. We will also use the colors from the logo to add accent colors in the design. If the logo blends with the background, add a contrasting shape behind the logo to make it more clear. Let's create a bold big heading. I am pairing Montserrat Bold with Bebas Nui for the main heading and the top sub-headline. We will track out the top text. Play with typography controls like leading, tracking, case, style, size, etc. to add contrast and create a more appealing typography. For the call to action button, we will add the accent color from the logo. This is a nice trick. In a black and white background, a touch of color looks interesting. Let's add a mouse pointer to spice up the design a little more. Finally, I'll add a grunge textured shape behind the heading to suggest the rough and tough aspect of the business. We need to add an accent color to the starts word, but since the background is dark, we can use a trick to accomplish legibility. We can add a white stroke on the text to separate the fill from the background. This makes the design more appealing. So there it is. We have created a variety of web banner designs for various businesses in this episode. A banner is the first thing the viewer sees in a site, so it is a make or break deal. In order to hook the audience and influence them to take action, we need to create an eye-catching and engaging design, which you can accomplish by using the principles shown in this video. Canva is a perfect composition tool that allows you to put things together easily in a visually appealing way. So hope you like this episode. If you have any questions, please ask in the comments. Please like to support the channel, and see you in the next episode.